Bring it on. Want some, get some. Can I get a hell yeah? Yes, I am a pirate. You have to go with the Pirates because, of course, they have cannons and everything. It's a pirate's life for me. Be proud of who you are and what you are. You're pirate. It is a first down. Pirates. Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. When you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
I think I've ever been in a building as loud as that was. It was deafening in there.
You live with Omaha? I can promise you that. And a triple all night long in Eastern North Carolina.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.
My heart is purple and gold. I'm a pirate down of my soul, and I don't back down, not at all. Find out when the cannons explode.
All right, welcome in to Extra Innings, the 2026 NCAA Chapel Hill Regional will wrap up, and I know that we had Kyle and Wildfire came late to our pregame meeting, but I want to let everybody know that what we're going to do, we'll have our show tonight, and then this coming Sunday night, we'll talk some more baseball because there's this thing, unfortunately, as we talk about in football, the transfer portal, we'll see who's coming and going with baseball, and we'll start talking a little bit about early football stuff and any other Pirate news. But guys, tough way to end, losing 9-3 yesterday. But I have to say, before I forget, and I'm going to pass it to Kyle, and if you guys want to talk about your perspective of the regional, but I have to say that I want to say thanks to everybody in Chapel Hill. I know that's hard for everybody at Pirate Nation. They did a really good job hosting the regional. It was way better than the other Carolina we had last year, Coastal Carolina. It's not even in the same atmosphere. They were very accommodating. They were very friendly. They had a hospitality tent. They fed us. They did a whole bunch of stuff. And by the way, Kyle, I know somebody was going to ask this question. I checked because Coastal, remember, was selling Coastal merchandise, which is against the rules. North Carolina, no. And they could have easily sold a whole bunch of, Carolina stuff. So I have to say, on the field, very upset, didn't want to lose to North Carolina. I don't want to lose to anyone for that matter. And by the way, our goal is not to beat North Carolina. Our goal is to win a national championship. We beat North Carolina. We'll beat them again. I'm hurt. I'm disappointed. But I have to say, that as far as the regional itself, outside of us, they did a good job. So I'll pass it to Kyle.
Glad to hear that they were hospitable. Quite frankly, I can still kiss my ass. As far as Coastal goes, Coastal's passionate about baseball. Carolina's not. They showed up. No, they're not. No. They showed up because they're winning. They don't give two shits about baseball. So they're not. And as far as them not selling merch, look, Coastal's smart. Coastal needs the money a little bit more than Chapel Hill does. So I'm not going to knock Coastal. I know you didn't have a good time down in Conway, but I'm again, Chapel Hill. I don't care how nice they were. They can still kiss my ass. And congratulations to them. Scott Forbes is a class act. I'll give that to them. And they beat us fair and square on the baseball diamond.
Yep.
Unfortunately, our pitching depth due to injuries showed its head in the regionals. We kind of spent it all against Tennessee. Props to Rose for the game he threw against ECU. He stepped up big time, but you could see Towers and Norby were worn out last night.
Yep.
Norby's velocity was still there, but his accuracy was not.
And Godwin, and by the way, Mr. Godwin, also they did not. If you are a pitcher, I will say this to add to your point, Kyle. If you are a pitcher and you want that outside corner, that was a ball where normally they call it a strike. I will say that was the one criticism, and I'm going easy on you tonight, Wildfire, but
Well, as long as you're consistent with it and you're going to call it for both pitchers.
Consistency, guys. Consistency. I mean, I didn't agree with strike zone last night. I mean, I think it was horrible, honestly. But I mean, as long as you're consistent, I have no problem with it. I mean, he was consistent. He was consistent both sides. So
Yeah. I, I agree, Justin. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the strike zone either, but it was consistent. So it was a crappy strike zone, but it was consistently crappy.
Alan,
So, but hats off to the Pirates. A lot of respect. Look, for this baseball team to have the injuries we had on this pitching staff in particular, some of the other injuries too, and to be in the shape we were in just a couple weeks ago, for us to win win the regular season title, co-champions, win the conference tournament, and then be one of the last 32 teams playing baseball.
bingo.
That is at this point, based on the last 2 years, at some point we're going to skip up and miss a NCAA tournament. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But what's become a disappointing year for us is being one of the last 32 teams playing. That has been our basement of recent history. We're either, we expect to be hosting, or we expect to be in the supers. I got a feeling it ain't going to be too long. We're going to win, and it'll probably be a regional on the road. It's getting harder and harder to host.
I've said that from the beginning, Kyle. You're going to win it when you least suspect it, guys.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the least suspected, but I wouldn't be surprised if we go on the road as a 2 seed maybe in the coming future and take a regional. I mean, you look at what happened, and I'm rambling, and I'll pass it off to everybody else, but you look at what happened around college baseball this weekend. Georgia Tech's out. Did UCLA out?
Yeah,
UCLA's out.
I mean, it's there's a lot of upsets. Southern Miss went to in barbecue in Hattiesburg. I mean, it's an interesting thing once you get into June with these regionals.
And that's the beauty of baseball, guys. Anything can happen at any time, man. And that's what I love about the game of baseball. It's not like football where you're going to play one game, or basketball is one game and you're done. I mean, baseball is played over a series. I mean, you can lose one game and you can come back and just win it all.
And I'm sorry, Wildfire. I was just going to say I want to get to Johnny and Alan, but I want to add really quick. Sorry, there was a little bit of lag. I apologize, Justin. But they literally, if you think about having our Saturday starter out, our Sunday starter out, our closer and Jenkins, you can start naming all the pitchers, right? And if we had those pitchers, I'm just saying, I'm not saying like making excuses. I'm just saying that our future is bright for the next year on, because we've got a lot of great talent coming in. Our core guys are still going to be there. So
you talk about depth. I mean, look, this is probably depth-wise. This is probably one of the most depth-wise teams we've had in a long time. We just dealt with the injuries. I mean, and you can't help that.
And if we didn't have the injuries, then if we didn't have the injuries, we would be like, I know there's ifs and buts and nuts and all that stuff, but I'm just saying we would be in much worse shape if we didn't have the depth that we have now.
I mean, I think if you had your top 2 or 3 arms that we lost, I mean, we could have cruised through this regional. Now the 14 innings didn't help at all, but just imagine if we had the Gavin Van Kemp and some of them guys, and Sean Jenkins and them guys in the lineup. I mean, look, we would have been all right. I really think we probably could have cruised this regional pretty good.
Okay, James. He says, "Hello, my
fellow."
Hey,
why don't we introduce Alan Vick and Jr. I think Jr. probably has been wanting to say something for a minute now.
Yeah, Alan Vick, what's up?
Good, guys. I hope everybody's doing well. We've had a little over 24 hours now to digest and look back on this season, and 2 things strike me immediately. I couldn't be more proud of this team, of this coaching staff, of everybody involved. This is going to be a season we'll remember, even though we're not playing anymore. This is going to be a season we'll remember for a lot of reasons. Cliff Godwin proved again that he's one of the best coaches ever in the history of college baseball. We're lucky to have him. And the other thing I think is pretty simple. I mean, I'm not a baseball aficionado like some people are. We simply got beat. We got beat by a better team.
Yes.
They're number 5.
And that's it. They were just overall, they were just a little bit better than we were.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, if, like I said again, if that's part of sports, is when you don't have. We had more injuries I can think of than a long, and it happens in basketball. It happens certainly in football. No excuses, but hey, we're good.
And Dave, it seems like that's been the pirate thing this year is injuries from basketball. I'm not going to talk about football, but from basketball to baseball, it seems like this year's just been injuries, injuries, injuries. That's been the pirate thing this year. Is, we deal with injuries in basketball and it translated to baseball. It seems like that's just been the motto this year is we've been dealing with
Yeah,
injuries from every.
let's get to Johnny. He's patiently waiting, or maybe not so much, but Johnny, we think the world of you, so it's nothing personal. I just wanted to start the roundtable, not roundtable, but get your thoughts. So, what are your thoughts on the season?
Okay. Well, I'll just start with this regional. I mean, it was East Carolina, in my opinion. If you were to ask me mid-season, and I was one that was saying mid-season and even late season, at this point, this season is a success if we make a regional. That's all I wanted to do is make a regional. And so we ended up making the Chapel Hill regional and winning 2 games. So, I mean, I think it surpassed my expectations considering what we had to work with. The 14 innings, like Kyle's already referenced, against Tennessee, pretty much. If Norby could have got Henry Ford in a deep flyout instead of that home run, I mean, we would have saved 5 innings of pitching. Norby, he ended up pitching 65, which really cooked him pretty much for the rest of the tournament. He did come in against Carolina, but they bring him in with bases loaded and nobody out. Thanks a lot. But he almost got out of it. He hit the first batter on a breaking ball, and then he got a pop up, and it was a tough situation to put Norby in. And I thought that he did very well considering what he was dealing with. He had to be exhausted. UNC is 41-8 in Chapel Hill in regional games. That's an .837 winning percentage. You can't just go into Chapel Hill and beat them. And, we could have won game 1. I felt like game 1 was there. We had the 3-0 lead. Unfortunately, our shortstop had a very untimely error, which gave them a 2-0 lead, right? That's the next game. In game 3, he had an error that cost us that game. And in game 1, when we had the 3-0 lead, we gave up that 3-run homer, and then we just got bad break after bad break. And I thought our pitchers did extremely well, especially against Carolina. I mean, Gavin Marley, he never let a run score. He pitched 5.1 innings combined in the 2 Carolina games, only allowed 6 hits, no walks, and did it in 69 pitches, which is like less than 13 pitches an inning. I mean, what I saw from Gavin Marley and then what I saw from Brett and Tolick, now that he's completely healthy, and like Kyle mentioned against VCU, Ethan Rose and Brett again, and Thomas Paxton, it gives me hope that if we can keep these guys, our pitching next year is going to be much deeper. Who knows what we're going to get out of the portal? We just got to keep what we have. And I think Luke Payne, he got better all season long. And I think another year, Luke Payne will be, much better. So I feel good. I feel bad for Jack Herring that he had to, break his wrist in the final few games of his career. That sucked. But he still tried to, play through it, which is not a shock. And I give every single one of our players and coaches kudos for just making us proud as fans, because I was never embarrassed at all this weekend. Like I said, it's a tough place to play. And hey, that regional, by the way, I'll make this quick, but that regional in the last 6 years had 22 regional appearances among those 4 teams. We had 6, Tennessee had 6, North Carolina had 6, and VCU had 4. No other regional came even remotely close to having that many experienced teams in the regional. And now ECU is the only school in the entire nation that has won at least 2 regional games in each of the last 7 seasons. Nobody else has done that. So there you go.
Johnny, thank you for that because those are kind of stats that that's why you got the nickname Johnny Stats a year or two ago, whatever it was. But that is great because that's what it's all about. And I tell you
what JR was going back and recapping those games, and he made the point about had we been able to get out of the bottom of the ninth against Tennessee, boy, that would have made that regional so much different. It would have made our pitching different for both Carolina games. There might not have been a second Carolina. Well, there would have been a second Carolina game, but we may have been in the winners bracket had we been able to get Norby and some of those other guys. If we'd have been able to get Norby out there in the bottom of the ninth, not to bring any of the pitchers, I think we beat Carolina Saturday night.
Exactly. I think so
because
too.
I half-assed expected us to walk it off in the bottom of the ninth Saturday night.
But
I'm proud of the team. You take a guy like I mentioned Rose before, who's kind of either hot or not. If we can get that kind of consistency out of him, he played against VCU. He could be dangerous. You got that, that unique arm slot that always throws people off. So looking forward to seeing him in the future, along with a lot of the other guys that JR talked about. But just again, I think we're all going to say the same thing. You're proud of the team. No shame, and you hate losing to Chapel Hill because it's Chapel Hill, but they are still, they're still a great baseball team. And the only ACC school remaining, by the way, too many ACC schools got into the NCAA tournament. Clearly,
Georgia Tech State. Oh yeah, how did you like the state the shot clock, the baseball when they had the pitch count violation?
Pitch clock violation. I loved it.
What happened?
Elliott Avent, his career ended as the coach for 30 years on a pitch clock violation. That's how State lost the game.
Blame it on the umpires, but it was a heck of a call, and I agree with that call. I would have done the same thing.
Oh, that's horrible.
I'm not a fan of that, but I know that, again, I know it's an in-state rival and all that, but
as crew NC State, and I'm not really a fan of Elliott Avent, but I do, I respect him as a coach. Not so much. Well, how should I say this? He's never one. I respect him as a person, not as a coach, or other way around. I don't know. I don't like him, but I respect him. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think that he's just one hell of a competitor. Deep down, I don't think he's a bad guy.
Some of the stuff where he didn't want to play us, and he doesn't have the same attitude Forbes has about playing us.
He's more forthcoming about playing us. That's true, but there's other schools. There's an ACC school right now in baseball that won't play us. Wake
Wake.
Yeah, definitely. They don't ever play us.
Oh, that's
Duke
true.
plays us, NC State plays us. You think about all the schools. There's 18.
Are we trying to play Wake midweek? Because that's pushing that line of midweek travel.
Yeah, that is.
It would be a good. It would be a good. Minor league park game. Play it. Durham or Fayetteville, somewhere like that.
Yeah, that's just
Buckhead, Zebulon.
Yeah. That they need a lot of
Wilson now. Well, we got Wilson now too. So
they're not going to play that in Wilson. They might as well come to Greenville at that point.
Well,
we play Elon. We play Elon on a regular basis.
Well, true. It's a little further out to Winston than it is to Burlington, but it's.
But there's a way you could play that game if you were to.
Yeah, you definitely could. If they wanted to play it bad enough, it would be played.
Yeah, maybe we don't want to play. I don't know. All I know is just like looking at the surface. We can get games with pretty much everyone except for Wake, and we know about football. That's a whole nother show. But
anyway, hey, here's a breaking. This is interesting, in my opinion. Troy's up 10-2 over Florida. I don't think anybody here has any love for the Gators. But if Troy pulls that game out, and it's very likely, they're going to do it. It's the 9th inning. They'll be hosting a super as a 3 seed because on the other side of that bracket is Arkansas Little Rock is a 4 seed. So
that's crazy. I always want that to happen for East Carolina one day.
Yeah,
remember last year.
What was Paige saying?
I don't agree. I love you, Paige, but
put it back up. What's bad?
Troy does not have a better athletic program than us. I don't agree with that.
Troy has a better pace.
No, what?
I love you.
Based on what, my friend?
No.
Baseball, they have quality football. They have quality baseball, but they're Their athletic program is not better than us, and we could.
And
And from a financial standpoint, we could hire away any Troy coach we wanted to if we wanted them bad
that's
enough.
true.
That's where Tulane, got
Oh,
isn't
what's
that where homie there that just lets go to Florida?
John Summerlin.
Summerall, right?
Summerall, yeah.
Yeah. Summerlin.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we're all hurt. Look, nobody's. I'll be the first. Oh well, yeah. Well, basketball was more NCAA basketball, but we've talked about that about basketball. We need to improve, and so far, I like what we've done in the portal. We'll see.
They may have as a better AD in terms of, and I'm sure that's going to get back to. I'm sure that's going to get back to homie there. But I don't care. I look. You are what you are, and if you're winning in football, baseball, and basketball, to me, that's your AD's doing a hell of a job.
Oh yeah.
And we know that, like I said,
we can hire anybody we want to from Troy.
Yeah, I don't.
That's true.
I'm not hating on Troy, but at the same time, just because we lost the regional doesn't mean that they're better.
And remember, last year Troy was one of those that got left out. So this is a good story because they were right on the bubble last year, and this year they get in and they're performing.
Yeah, and Troy's Troy's a good program in the Sun Belt. Good baseball, good football. I know nothing about Troy basketball. Apparently, they had a good year this year.
Tournament team.
Would it not?
And guess what? We can have that. It's just coming down to we've got to, as I've said, and I was hoping to talk a lot of baseball.
It's a lot easier to win the Sun Belt in basketball than it is the American too.
Well, that's
no doubt about that.
Kyle, I agree with you 100% on that.
But the baseball team, and by the way, Johnny, they had a stat, and I didn't hear the exact amount, but the announcer said last night that we had, I forgot how many regional final appearances, like since 2018. All together.
Yeah, well, we won. That's what I said. We've won 2 games in each of the last 7 regionals, and when you win 2 games, you're normally in the finals.
Yeah, I'm just saying that they.
I want to say we've had 7, 8 straight regional finals in the last
8. But
8.
yes, the one of them we went 1 and 2 in 18. We went 1 and 2 or 17.
Oh, that's right. The wonderful, as Kyle remembers, that wonderful rain delay game with UNCW.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pounded them the first game, and then that rain delay game.
It's like a 6-hour rain delay.
It was ridiculous.
Remember it well.
But hey, I'm going to update. Hey, Dave, I want to update that stat that I gave before the tournament that we had in the last 2 seasons before this tournament started. The 3 seeds were 19 and 13 against 2 seeds, and now they were 10 and 6 this year, so they're 29 and 19. I mean, that just shows you the parity in college baseball, and it's not necessarily parity of everybody's kind of blah. It's the smaller programs are making more of an effort to be better at baseball, and it's paying off. And the transfer portal obviously is helping. The 29 and 19, the 3 seeds have beaten the 2 seeds.
Yeah, I'd love to see how many of those 3 seeds are not from power conferences. I think that happens a lot. I think you get a Tennessee or a Florida, and they are arrogant enough to look and go, well, we got an ECU. Who are they? We've been playing in the SEC. And they get their ass beat. And then, I think Tennessee, after what happened to them against us on Friday, I think they gave up and just decided not to show up for VCU. But it's not taking anything away from VCU.
John
and their 5-year-old head coach, by the way. That kid is VCU's. I mean, that kid looks like he's 17.
He looks young. John White, nice to meet John White, former pitcher for the Pirates under Gary Overton. He said Morgantown Regional has been a fun watch. Kentucky not going away with 2 bombs to tie it up in the 8th. And thank you, John. It was great. I saw John on Friday and Saturday. Cool dude, and appreciate his support of our program and appreciate all he did for the Pirates.
Is Dan Roselle still at Kentucky?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, what a super guy. I love Dan. He's got a beautiful family, and I'm glad he's had success at Kentucky.
Yeah, and something, we were talking about the program, and our program as far as basketball, baseball, women's basketball, maybe the men's basketball, football, Kyle, and Kyle, I know he thinks I'm blindly optimistic, but Football is going to have a great year. I'm really confident on that.
I think football will have a good year. I'm just not until I see this offense. I'm not prepared to say we're going to have double-digit wins and be hosting the conference championship game. But do I think we're going to have a losing season? Absolutely not.
Yeah. Well,
I did.
Well, I
I'm-
will tell you the Queen Anne is fired up for Tuscaloosa. We're already ready to go, guys.
All right. Are you already loaded up?
We're already loaded up, getting ready to rock and roll, baby.
How many people can you take all of us down there with you?
I can fit every single one of you guys. Come on.
Oh man, come on, let's do it.
The Clampets are going.
We'll take a road trip. We'll take a road trip and we'll get ready to rock and roll.
I tell you, it's going to be a lot of fun, and
it is, guys.
Let's talk about though with baseball, to give baseball the love.
But I will. Hey, did you guys see down the Florida State Regional? You know what really got me? You had Link Jarrett down there. You had Gary Overton was down there. I thought
Gary was at. I thought that Dr. Gary Overton was in Tallahassee.
Yeah,
that would be Florida State.
Yeah, because they. By the way, you know how much I love Coastal Carolina, but their coach. I mean, come on. He was talking about how that that they're not. They had what was it? He said the regional. I can't remember the exact words, but the bottom line.
I have no idea what he said.
That they were what he said? Something like a poorly run regional. And I don't know. I've never been to Tallahassee, but Florida State has got a lot.
Oh, they've had a lot of weather delays. A lot of weather.
I mean, you're a freaking Florida guy. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what do you say?
And I have a hard time believing that it's not about Gary Overton. And as I always say, Mother Nature is undefeated.
Gary, they were riding Gary Overton's rear end on social media this weekend. Like it was his fault and all. It's like, I mean, what?
That's ridiculous. Everybody knows that Coach O is a class act and he's going to be fair to everybody. But there's nothing you can do about the weather. And if they're complaining about Gary and the weather, these people are missing the cerebral cortex or chromosome or something. But
that's Coastal Carolina. I'm not trying to run for mayor down there, but I'm sorry, but that he should have not. And that shows a difference. And I'm just going to make this comparison. That shows a difference in him and Cliff Godwin. Look at all the adversity we had, and he was very complimentary to Chapel Hill. He could have gone in there and.
Well, I mean, there was no adversity in terms of the regional.
No. I'm just saying. My point is.
You know who the site director was in Chapel Hill this weekend, don't you?
No.
Bart Scoff.
Okay.
Used to be at UCW.
And by the way, they will as far as. The ESPN announcers, man, they were fantastic this weekend.
Yes, Mike McConnell, yes, very good guys.
Ben McDonald did a great job. He did a great job. Loved listening to him. Very Southern. Of course, remember Ben from playing for the Orioles. I think he does a lot of work. I think he does a lot of work for the Orioles still. Say again.
LSU too.
Be a good guy to get on the podcast if we can get on.
Oh yeah, we got Greg Olson on after the regionals a couple years ago. So yeah, we can definitely work on getting Ben McDonald to come on the show.
I think it'd be a good guy to get on.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Kyle, he said on the broadcast, y'all didn't hear, he does not own a computer. He does not own.
No, I told you. I said you were in the press box. I said, Dave, get a baseball and get Ben McDonald.
No, that's
for
what.
me.
No,
I'm telling you. I told you to get Ben McDonald.
I know. Hold on. The press box is not where I was.
Oh, well, we know that.
We had a table right behind section 105.
I can testify to that.
Because I went up there and they said, "Sir, can we help you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm looking for," and I told them where I was, and they're like, "Oh, you're down in the table in 105." I said, "I'm very sorry."
Reject section.
But I did not. I was not up there anywhere close to Ben, or I would have definitely tried to see if I could.
So they had an expanded. They had an expanded press area for.
Yeah, all the Carolina folks were in the press box, and that's fine. I didn't have a problem with it. Kyle will be surprised. I actually liked it. I saw a whole bunch of friends, including Wildfire set me. And by the way, guess who I met? And he was so good to me. I want to give him a shout out. And none other than Lewis Godwin. Cliff Godwin's dad sat with me from the
You're
the
welcome,
ninth
Cliff.
inning
You're
until the
welcome.
14th.
You're welcome. Your
But he
daddy.
was so nice, great guy, and I understand why Cliff Godwin.
Justin, why are you saying you're welcome?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're welcome. That's all I'm gonna say.
You're welcome. I don't understand that, but text me.
I'll tell you later. I'll tell you
Or
later.
text me later or whatever. But
one thing I do find disappointing is when Gary is at a regional, which I understand, and Dylan has to go solo. They need to have a color guy with him.
I'll tell you, Mike Bowl. Why can't we get Mike Bowl?
Yeah, that's very unfair to Dylan to fly solo for 4 games or whatever.
I don't know why they wouldn't use Mullis. He's not, calling the TV games because the ESPN Plus coverage is done by that point. So I don't know why they wouldn't get Mullis.
Well, I think him and PJ were doing some high school baseball stuff.
I know PJ was doing some high school baseball. I didn't know
PJ usually does.
If you give, I'm sure if you give Mullis the opportunity to call a regional versus calling high school ball, I'm assuming he's going to choose the regional.
The broadcast is so much better with 2 people. It just is.
Yeah, it's nothing in it, and I want to say it's nothing against Dylan.
No, not at all. Dylan did a great job.
Dylan does a heck of a job, guys.
Yeah, he does.
He does a heck of
he's
a job.
He's come a long way.
Yeah, and he understands. I think that and it's not easy. Calling games like people think. I mean, Alan Vick can tell you that because you've been doing it for a million years. The voice of the D.H. Conley Vikings, by the way.
Well, we gotta go. What's his name? If Mullis was booked, what was his name that called the Duke game with Patrick Johnson this year for the former East Carolina player?
Danny Beal.
Yeah, Danny Beal. Yeah, well, they could have got Danny Beal to do it.
There's several options we could have gone to right there. I mean, why not? I mean, you're a top program. Why can't we get somebody to do that? It should be obvious.
Yeah, I think that's cheaping out on.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
But I don't know if that's a decision, but from the athletic department, that's a decision from. Is Clay Walker gone? Have we replaced Clay Walker? Or is he leaving?
He is gone.
Yeah, he's at Virginia, I believe.
Oh yeah, that was a topic.
Well, who's replaced him? Have we replaced him?
I haven't heard anything.
I loved his music too.
Well, yeah, he was a much better singer than he was whatever the hell his job was.
Playfly, he was the head of Playfly.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know who's doing that now, but somebody dropped the ball on that. Dylan having to go solo.
Literally.
John White, Ben does do Orioles broadcast, and he does. In fact, I love that's one thing that I'm like. It makes me so like upset that I can't wait not only to be to Omaha, but when you have Kyle Peterson, like Mike Rooney, you have Ben McDonald, you have all these guys that, in fact, we've had Kyle Peterson and Mike Rooney on the show, but we've never had Ben McDonald. So we'll have to have him on. And, but we're going to get to Omaha, as Keith LeClaire said, I can promise you that. And I think this team is I said this and I really meant it. If you take away the injuries, we won't know. But I said I felt like this team was built. And Alan, you and I talked back in January, their media day. I told you back then with the depth we had, it was a super regional team. And I hate that we don't get, that's why you play the games. And unfortunately, I'm going to be, guys, one of the questions I had for you guys, and Johnny, if you want to start it off because you've been patient with us tonight. Do you guys know about anything transfer portal wise? Something we can talk about more on Sunday night.
One that's not a shock. It's not a shock at all. Is Matt Lashley.
Lashley's gone.
Yeah.
Clinic.
Well, he's not gone. He's in the portal. Clinics is gone. I'm going to tell you. Well, Justin. Okay. Then you ask Justin. I'm gonna go. I gotta go take care of something, Dave. I'll be back in a little bit. This podcast was bad timing for me because I just got home to Virginia from North Carolina, and there's some stuff I got to take care of. So I'll try to come back in a few.
Okay. All right, we'll hear for you, buddy. Yeah, we'll hear for you. All right.
Yeah, Dave, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Clinics, I think, is gone. From my interactions with Clinics' dad, he was not happy with Cliff on Sunday yesterday.
Let me say something on that. And I have a son, right? Clinic played that game. And if you're going to be upset, He did play the game. In fact, he came in really quick. What they did is Cliff was trying to look. He, as head coach, and this is sound stating the obvious. Guess what Cliff Godwin has to do as coach? He has to win ball games. It's not about pleasing.
Bingo.
And I have nothing against. Let me just say, I'm a huge fan of Klinich. Okay, so I don't want to sound like I'm hating. I am not hating on Klinich. All I'm saying is that was not punishment. That was not like, oh my God. Now, if he had gone the whole game without playing Klinich, then I would be like, what the heck is going on? And I don't ever quit. Alan and I have talked.
But look, I will tell you, they don't see it this way these days. These
here's
parents today don't think it.
Let me tell you, and he wants to be a catcher. I love him to death, but there's a reason why. Walker is a Barron, but there's a reason why he's starting. It's defense. Okay, I'm being straight up. That's what I've been told by the folks around the program that know a lot more than I do. Exactly. And they told me last year. I've even heard rumblings a little bit this year. I've had people that went to the Yard Gnomes games. I am not, so we're clear, I am not anti-Klinich, but what it comes down to is if you have guys that are baseball players, right? And if he had a whole bunch of pass balls, okay? I'm not anti his dad. I haven't met his dad. I'm sure
wasn't his bat hot in that VCU game? Didn't he have 4 hits?
Yeah, right. There's the whole point is the percentages. The percentages are, and with was that a, let's see, right? With Bachman had something like going against pitchers, was a left-handed pitcher, like a 457 batting average. Okay, they didn't plan on keeping Bachman in the entire game as DH.
Well, Klinich hasn't entered the portal to my knowledge.
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't.
So what we do know is as JR was trying to say earlier, is that we know that Lashley has entered the portal, and Lashley, for whatever reason, didn't get the playing time this year. Short, I know they liked what was our other shortstop's name?
Nick Parham.
Parham's glove better, but Lashley had a better bat. So I'm not surprised at all Lashley's entering the portal. I think that may have been – I don't think – and I'm not inside the clubhouse, but I don't think Lashley was a Cliff Godwin guy. I'm just from the outside.
I don't think Klinich is as well. I mean, during the Klinic's dad during the pregame stared Cliff down, and during the pregame he gave a salute, said, "See ya," like he was getting ready to leave. Like, it wouldn't be surprising that Klinich here is poor guys. I'm just telling you.
Well, here's the deal. I want him to be a Pirate, but the one thing that I've learned, and I'll just be straight up, and I'm not hating. I'm really not. No shade. What I have learned is I pull for what's on the front of the jersey and not the back of the jersey. If he wants to be a Pirate, I want him to be a Pirate. Let me make it very clear to his dad. I want you to game
Klinich. Yep.
I want Klinich there. Yep. I will say that most likely he will be DH again. If he wants to be the starting catcher, go out and prove it. Work your tail off. Not saying he doesn't, but there's a reason why those people are starting. And
I think Klinich is I think Klinich is a heck of a ball player.
Yeah,
he's a heck of a ball player.
And he's going to be getting looks from bigger schools. I mean, it's just with his bat, he's going to get some offers.
And then look, I think his dad is like the head of the Orlando Sports Commission or something like that. So his dad's got connections.
And he gave money, and we're appreciative. He gave NIL money, and they named a bullpen after him. So I'm not anti his dad. I'm not anti Michael Klinich. I am simply telling you, his defense is not as good as the other. Or what position? And let me ask Mr. Klinich, what position did Cliff Godwin play?
Well, I also
catcher.
Playing 18 innings behind a plate. It's not something you want to ask your catcher to do if you got two you trust. And it could have been a moment of emotion, Like I say, he hasn't entered the portal at this point. So, and it could have been a moment of emotion. So let's not potentially make things worse.
No, I'm not trying to. I've been simply saying.
It's the objective podcast.
It is subjective. Yeah, we have to be objective. And when people that I know personally, by the way, Kyle, that are off air, that are like group chats and different things, they don't understand that like literally everybody. First of all, everybody has an opinion. That's true, and that's fine. But I'm just telling you, Alan and I, like one of our inside jokes is Cliff Godwin knows more than I'll ever, and he'll forget more than I'll ever know about baseball. And I've been following it all my life, but that doesn't mean I'm an expert on it. He eats, sleeps, drinks. And that was another thing that I was really proud of is not that I want to see Cliff Godwin cry, but he cares that much about the players. And Norby's last game, he's not going to be with us anymore. A lot of the seniors that won't be able to play with us anymore. And I mean, I don't know relationships behind the scenes or anything like that. But I do know that he cares about his players. And
name any coach in East Carolina history that has the type of emotions Cliff Godwin's got, guys. I would love to have a Cliff Godwin for basketball or football.
Well, we have Blake Harrell.
Yeah, I will say no. Blake Harrell's not saying he's not, but I'm just saying we've been asking for a coach, a long time coach like this for years to represent the program. I mean, guys, what more can we ask for with Cliff Godwin?
Be nicer to the media.
He wears his heart on his sleeve. Most of the time, 95% of the time, it's a good thing when he wears his heart on his sleeve. He has that little bit of a adversarial relationship with the media occasionally, and that's just the way it is. And it was that way. It was that way when he was hired, and it's not going to change. And Cliff is who he is, and that's not. I wish you would be a little kinder and gentler with the media as well, because we're here because we love.
Well, it's not so much kinder or gentler. Just when somebody's answering you a question, don't be such a smart ass about the question.
Well, that's how Cliff is. I mean,
yeah, well, he's going. I'm surprised somebody's fired back at him. that's the part that gets me.
That's the Green County. That's the Green County Cliff, man. I'm just telling you.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. He asked him. I simply asked him on Monday. Is this the best coaching job? I wasn't criticizing him at all. And he said, ask the other members of the media, y'all criticized me when he was saying that generically. I don't think he was, doing that to me. And I didn't fire back at him because, hey, it is what it is. I was trying really to.
It's like what we said a couple of podcasts ago when somebody says no disrespect, but
yeah,
that's you can pretty much you're getting ready to get zinged.
Yeah, no, and Cliff is a fantastic coach, and anybody, and I know there were some Pirate fans at times this year that was really down on him. I do wonder if there's going to be any changes to the staff, or if he's happy with the way things are. I'll tell you something we do need to get better at. We've got to get some more power in this lineup.
Yes, sir.
That is something that needs to be addressed.
The offensive power, yes, I agree, 100%, guys. We got to get better with our bats. I mean,
the small ball's fine, station to station baseball's fine. But you got to have the ability to hit the long ball, and at times this year we didn't have it at all. And
like I said, I think we got some guys coming in. Looking at our offensive backs, so we got a guy coming in, freshman kid coming in from ACOT that I think can really pop the bat. That plays first base. You got Irby over there that could play first base, and then you got this kid coming in. I think he really can come in and swing the bat. He's got to get.
And we got to make sure we hold on to Irby. That's another kid that.
And like I said, Kyle, I mean, I always talk about this. I was really worried about coming in this year. Braden Burrs having a sophomore slump, and Irby really had that sort of. But then again, you look at JJC, and I was talking about earlier in the text. JJC same way had a sophomore slump. It came out with a sophomore slump. And
hey guys, I'll be right back in 1 second.
Okay.
But I mean, you talk about JJC, same thing, had a sophomore slump and came through. So I think that same thing with Irby.
I think there's been
next year he might have that breakout year.
I think there's been some very unfair criticism of Irby by some people that I respect. To be honest with you, I mean, look at his performance at first base. The bat was what it was. But how many times
A lot.
in just the regional did he stretch and keep his foot on the bag? He played a tremendous first base defensively and saved our rear ends several times over
In
the
that
weekend.
the Tennessee game, especially, he had a lot. I think it was a lot of putouts. And for me personally, Irby is a good kid, from what I can tell. Another thing they talk about is not only we winning, guys, we're doing it the right way, but also the fact that what is it, like a 3.5 GPA? Everything. Everything. I know Justin and I have talked about it. Johnny and Alan, we've talked about it several years, but things are what they are, and there's going to be a year like year. We could easily, as Cliff talked about, we could have easily been watching the game from home, watching the regionals from home, not have anything to cheer about. And yes, we wanted to win. We fell short, but we'll move on to next year and pray that we've got a good core. What I'm excited about, we've talked about, we've got a good core of guys coming back. And as Josh Thomas says, what's up, Josh? Irby's a heck of a – yeah, there was a lot of plays that he made. And another thing I want to say to those of you that are anti now Nick Parham, that kid made a lot of plays this year.
Yes, he did.
Plays in the regional even. And I'm not going to down that kid because guess what? There's plenty of it's a team sport, and I'm not going to.
And I hope he comes back, Dave. I really do. I really want Nick Parham back. I mean, I think we got build a really good nucleus around Nick Parham. I mean, I think that kid could have a breakout year next year. I really do.
Everybody has games like Nick Parham had yesterday. If you played baseball it happens.
How about Jeff Sadler this week, you guys? I mean, stepped up big time.
Yeah, that's another kid we need to find a way to hold on to because he finds a way. He's a nuisance on the base. He finds a way to get on base. He's just a little water bug who plays the game. And
does he have another year?
I mean, I don't know what his. I'm not sure what his status
I think
is.
He's a grad student, so I don't think he has another year.
Well, we need to find a way to keep him anyway.
If there's a will, there's a way. Let's petition the NCAA.
That's right. Year. But if he is done, man, you're right. He came alive, at the end of the season.
He had a big. If I had a player of the weekend, it would be Jeff Sapper.
He's a. We talked about him preseason, and it didn't get off to a great start, but boy, did he make up for it at the end. So if he is done, thank you, Jeff.
Josh Thomas is about we have a great group of income recruits as well. We do. I think you look at the kid from ACOC coming in. I've seen him live. I think he's going to be a really big impact. Got a strong back and really power. I've seen him play down at in Granger Stadium. I mean, anybody that can put a home run over the batter's eye at Granger Stadium's got some power on his bat. And then you got the kid that we picked up from South Johnson. That was committed to NC State that's coming in here. I think it's going to be pretty good. So I think the recruiting, we really will. We got to get back to that high school recruiting.
And Kyle was absolutely right. We do need some power. But you think about that grade point average. So these kids are not only winners on the field. You got a group of kids that since Cliff's been here that have been winners in life, winners off the field.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, I mean. And in this day and time, the kids are taking the money and whatever. But to have a grade point average like that, they're going to be successful at whatever they do, and that's really what you're trying to do as a coach. You're preparing kids for life as much after baseball as you are coaching them while they're here.
Just like I said, 98% of these, it's like there's an NCAA video they play at these regionals. 98% of these kids are not going to professional sports. Other than 98% of these kids are going to professional sports, but they're going to become fathers. They're going to become husbands. They're going to become dads. They're going to go other than sports. So it's all about the classroom. It's all about student athletes.
And Cliff hangs on to that where so many programs, unfortunately, the classroom part of it has kind of gotten lost in the shuffle with all this NIL stuff. Cliff still emphasizes, education.
That's correct.
And that's man, when you do what Cliff's done on the field, and you can still emphasize education and have a great team GPA. That's the unusual thing in the era that we're living in right now.
That is correct, and that's correct. That's correct.
He said, Josh Thomas says we have a kid from Terry Sanford.
We also have that kid from Terry Sanford. That's correct. I saw that, Josh. Good point there. Good point. Great kid.
And Robert Cherry, what's up, Robert? He said, I have to credit this year's team for coming together late in the season to make a run through the conference tournament and challenging UNC. By the way, the number 5 seed overall, a national seed in a regional championship matchup. And absolutely, Robert, this season is not the way we wanted, but like we were talking about, I just want to ask you guys, how many teams do you think, and I'll use my hometown with Duke. Duke would have loved to have been at the conference tournament. They had a really bad year. They didn't even make the tournament for the ACC tournament. Their year was way over, right?
Are you sure? I thought Duke made the tournament.
Did they make it?
I thought they beat State in the first round.
Oh, maybe they did. I'll have to look back over that. But
anyway, they did. They underperformed this year for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. So anyway, we're trying really hard to, it is what it is. We don't want to lose. Who wants to lose? But if you look at the season as a whole, yet again, even in the worst, Josh backed me up. Duke wasn't in.
They were not? Okay.
I'm just making a point that there's a lot of teams in our conference didn't make even the conference tournament. Their year was over. Considering that could have been us.
The standards are very high for Pirate baseball, and those standards were set years ago. And Cliff has raised the standard, however you say that. And people expect to host a regional every year. It's just not realistic. Nobody hosts a regional every year, and so a lot of people were disappointed this year that we were a 3 seed on the road. But when you look at it at the end of the year, we ended up with 38 wins. We won the American Conference tournament. We're co-regular season champions, and we finished runner up in the Chapel Hill Regional. Like I said, that's a disappointing season for Pirate baseball. No. And if that's the disappointing season for your program's in a hell of a spot. And there's not another sport at ECU. And God knows, I hope football gets to this level at some point. And football's a completely different animal. Football's definitely headed in the right direction. But there's not another sport at ECU that has the prolonged excellence that ECU baseball has had now, really going back to when Coach Overton was here. And, Coach LeClaire kind of raised that bar. Randy Mazie kind of kept it going. Billy Godwin kept it going. And Cliff has kind of raised it back up to where Coach LeClaire had it. And, we will get to Omaha. And I think a lot of people thought we would already be there. And in 2022, we should have been there. It just didn't happen. And I think that's where a lot of this disappointment comes from, is the fact that we still haven't made it to Omaha, which is the ultimate goal. But like I say, if this is the bottom rung for our program, we're in fantastic shape.
Hey, look, Kyle, that's coming from you. That's a lot. I'm just telling you.
This team could have folded, mid-season, 3/4 of the way in, and they did not. And they just didn't. They showed a lot of heart. This was I know Johnny disagrees, but I think this was Cliff's best coaching job. That's my opinion.
I'll agree 100%.
I just don't. I mean, I know last year I said it last year too, but the last 2 years I think have been certainly the best 2 years of coaching of Cliff Godwin's East Carolina career.
Well, JR disagreed with that prior to this conference tournament run to the regionals. He may change his mind now, because the job we did with this pitching situation, like it was through the conference tournament and through the regionals, is very impressive. Because when you look at our pitching, we should have been 2 in barbecue. And we had the lack of pitching depth, but the pitching we had was good. And we had some guys step up. And, whether it's his best coaching job or not, I don't know. I'll tell you what, for where we were at points this season, for where we ended up, And the fact that it wasn't a situation like it was last year where we finished sixth in the regular season and had to win the conference tournament. We may have gotten in without winning that game against UTSA. People will go, oh, UTSA didn't get in. That means ECU wouldn't. It's not true. We had a much higher RPI and a much higher strength of schedule. Mm-hmm. The reason UTSA didn't get in is their strength of schedule was like in the 100s. Mm-hmm. Ours was like 28th. Right. So they played a very weak non-conference. So we may have been in as an at-large. Thankfully, we'll never have to know that. But, I don't really know how much more there is to say about this baseball season. I think we've said all that really can be said. You guys may have more points. But just, proud of what they did, proud of what they accomplished, proud of the never say give up attitude. I really thought after that game Saturday night, they may cash it in. And they came out and blanked VCU. So props to them for that. Got another shot at Chapel Hill. Unfortunately, couldn't get it done. And now Carolina's on to College Station.
So who's going to beat Carolina? Who do you think could take Carolina?
Texas A&M.
You think Texas A&M is going to beat them in the Supers?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll disagree.
I think Carolina is very good, and that's why we lost to them. And I believe that they could easily be in the.
I think they're going to be in the College World Series. I could see them probably going to the finals. Honestly,
I hope not.
Well, I hate the sport objective. We want to be there instead of them. So obviously,
yeah, I don't. I haven't seen everybody in every game, every pitch of every game. But I'm going to tell you what, Carolina, that's a complete baseball team.
I see them being
their offense is.
I really agree.
Sorry, I was going to say they usually have the pitching, but man, the bats. This is the best bats they've had. They've had players, they've had dudes, but
well, Dave, they didn't even use the Mateus kid this weekend. Look, they saw somewhere where they only
didn't use the potato skin. What in the hell did you say? What did they use?
The kid for Greenville.
What's his name?
Mateus.
I thought you said potato skin.
Matthew Mateus.
Matthew Mateus. Yeah, they didn't even use him.
Played at Conley, I believe. Didn't he?
Conley. Okay.
Yeah. They didn't even use him this weekend. So they've got the guys.
I don't see any weaknesses on this team, and I know anybody can be beaten on any given day. I get it, but hey, I don't see any weaknesses in this. I really don't.
No, I don't.
And that's what I was saying. So that Kyle always says that we should be pulling for the team that beat us. So
yeah, no, normally I do, but not when it comes to UNC. I'm never going to pull for UNC. You guys want to be, if you guys want to put on powder blue and wave the Tar Heel flag, whichever one you want to.
Let me tell you.
You have at it.
No,
not happening, brother.
Let me tell you,
powder blue, but it's not a Carolina shirt.
Let me tell you about Justin. Can tell you the worst part of the weekend is hearing Tar Heels, Tar Heels. I wanted to just
Heels.
That I wanted to hear purple and gold. I didn't hear that. So
screw that.
And that's another thing we need to bring up. Did Pirate Nation, Pirate baseball fans went to Boshemer and represented, baby. That was a great crowd of Pirate fans.
Well,
they should be proud.
They were.
I didn't agree.
There was a couple of police officers that came down and tried to kick out a couple of the Pirate fans in our section on Sunday, but
they did.
What were they doing to
I will tell you, it was the megaphone crew that they were trying to kick out.
You can't do that.
I don't understand why. Please explain to me why they get so much attention, because they don't have they have like makeshift.
They were sitting there right beside me, guys, and they won't do nothing. Next thing I know, they come down trying to kick them out. I'm like, really?
I didn't know about that. I'm glad I didn't know about that. But
yeah, they did.
But
doesn't surprise me.
Well, were they successful in kicking them out, or
no?
So basically, they just told them to pipe down.
No,
probably told them to quit using the makeshift megaphones. I almost got thrown out of a Bird Dogs game last year for heckling the players. And
I remember that.
Hadn't cussed one time.
Surprise me.
Hadn't cussed one time, and what happened was I was sitting near some New York Boulders fans, and they complained, and all the Bird Dog fans around me told security they were under the impression I was drunk. I said, "Bro, I've had 2 beers. If you think 2 beers is going to get me drunk, you got another thing coming." And and thankfully the people around me squashed that.
That's pretty much what happened on Sunday.
Again, shocker. No, I mean it's silly because you hear they were giving Cliff Godwin all kinds of grief. So you're gonna kick your own fans out? I mean, so you got to be fair with that. That's totally ridiculous. That kind of stuff drives me crazy because guess what? If those Tar Heel fans think that's bad, go to Coastal Carolina and right field, bro. They were the worst fans. They were the worst.
Go to Greenville, dude. Like legitimately.
But anyway, I've never known those guys to say anything out of the way. One up, one down, 2 up, 2 down. I mean,
that's that elitist attitude that I hate and everybody here hates and Kyle hates. It's just and it's warranted. It's not something that we made up. Carolina since beginning of time has had that, wine and cheese deal, Muffy and Jody at the ball game, with the sweater, vest, and all that.
And what kills me is all the Wall Hills, all these rednecks around Eastern North Carolina that maybe have gone to Chapel Hill once in their life. They go to Walmart and buy a little Carolina blue hat and put it on his let me jar. And then you want to compare, I get so infuriated with these Tar Heel fans and these Duke fans that'll compare their fandom to my mother. When you donate to the Rams Club, when you give to their NIL, when you start a friggin' podcast to cover them, then you can compare. You have no idea the amount of people I want to punch in the face on a daily basis that are Carolina and Duke fans. Not the ones that actually went there, not the ones that are diehard, but these Walmart Tar Heel fans make me sick. And the crazy part is Muffy and Buffy wouldn't have a damn thing to do with them.
Bingo. You're correct,
bingo.
Right. I've got some family members who I love to death who are Carolina graduates, but they're the real deal. They give
exactly like Faye said. UNC grads look down on exactly. They wouldn't have a damn thing to do with them. Except for the exception of 1 or 2 assholes who said some things over the years. Nobody has ever said a word to me about not being a graduate of ECU. And quite frankly, if all our graduates would support East Carolina the way I do financially, we'd be in a whole lot better shape.
And not only that, but for me personally, I like the fact that if anybody that wants to be a Pirate fan,
it's not about that. It's about these people that want to compare. You know what I mean? You run into them all the time that will compare their fandom of being a Tar Heel or a Blue Devil. And maybe they've set foot in Chapel Hill or Durham for a game once or twice in their lives.
Bandwagon fans, that's all they are.
I'm not a Carolina guy. I remember, this is a funny story. I'll tell you really quick. So, Alan, I know I was at I had my coach's pass. So a friend of mine said, "Hey, UNC and State are playing, today. Do you want to go?" Or a day or two before. I said, "Sure." We went there, and I kid you not, there was a guy in front of me, this middle-aged man. This was about 20 years ago, and he had a Carolina blue sweater on, and he said, "Oh my goodness, there's mustard on the on the bleacher." And he got a napkin out and started cleaning up. I'm like, "Oh my God."
What sport was this?
Football.
Football. Okay.
And he had the sweater vest on.
Hey, well, we all know.
I just thought, I'm sorry for all the people that love
nothing against a sweater vest. There are a lot of people look nice in sweater vests and wear them well, but
Yeah, Josh, and nor should they. You're a loyal Pirate who gives to the program.
Yeah,
you show up. You show up for everything.
He cooks a lot.
Yeah, nobody, and that you're like me. You're not a wall pirate. That's not a casual fan. That is somebody who's dedicated. And I'm sure there are Carolina fans like that. Eric Church, for example, makes me sick to my ass. Who
Appalachian State grad.
Yeah, I don't know if he graduated or not, but he went to App State. And he's from Caldwell County. So Eric Church makes me sick. But there's a guy that
Luke Combs is a App State through and through guy.
Yeah, he won't give to their NIL because he does not agree, which I think is stupid because Appalachian State does not control how NIL is ran. But Luke Combs
And
will not give to NIL until contracts are in place.
Uh,
But I don't agree with that. That would drive me crazy if he was a Pirate because we can't control that. It's not like Appalachian State's going, no, we're not going to get contracts. It's not a thing yet. So, but that's their problem, not mine.
the fans that don't give because of all that NIL stuff, that horse left the barn a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly.
we were talking about it.
You got to get over that.
5 years ago, man.
You got to get over it.
I
hates
said,
it more than I
said
do, but you
5
gotta
years
get over
ago
it.
here on this podcast, when it first became a thing, I said I'd put every bit of money we had into NIL right now.
Well, guess
right
what?
now, I said I wouldn't build an indoor practice facility. I wouldn't do anything. I'd put all the money in NIL. By the way, indoor practice facility looks good. It is humongous.
Good,
and if you don't go down, how far it's came since the UAB game I went. That's the only baseball game I went to this year was UAB, and the how far it's came since that UAB game. I was out at campus Saturday, and it's riding around, and how far that indoor practice facility has come. The Isley indoor practice facility it's looking like a almost complete project now from the outside.
They worked hard. They're there. I've seen them there on Saturdays, and every day that the weather's cooperative, they've been there. So they worked awfully hard on that.
By the way, speaking of a great Pirate, Justin's parents are celebrating. Is it 45 years today? Happy anniversary!
45 years.
Happy anniversary! Also, our buddy Corey Glore celebrates a birthday today. It's Corey's birthday. Happy birthday, Corey Glore.
Yep.
Friend of the show.
Corey.
Miss Corey Glore very much, but
yeah, just a classy young man. I love him to death.
Yes, he is. Oh, look at that,
Squidward himself.
Cal Poly and West Virginia. What a regional!
What? Kyle, are you kidding me, man?
Was the Squidward?
Good.
Yeah, he sounds just like him.
Well, there's a I'll tell you off the air. There's a radio guy in Eastern North Carolina that sounds more like Squidward than
Corey Glore. Wait, is it Squidward?
It's Squidward.
Is it actually Squidward?
Yeah, man. This radio guy is Squidward up one side and down the other. But we won't.
Wow.
I'll tell you. I'm telling you. I'll tell you off the air.
All right. That sounds good. Yeah.
Does he not know he sounds like Squidward?
Yeah. He doesn't know.
He does know.
He has to know. It's rough.
Okay.
It's rough.
Yeah, Josh, now they got to finish the third base. I love you to death, but I have to say I've enjoyed y'all on my side of the stadium for tailgating and all that. It's been fun, Josh. I get it, but so the practice facility, we usually get that question. That's going to be done in September. Should be completed, barring any kind of crazy weather between now and then. And I thought it was Thanksgiving, but they're saying that the third base expansion will be done by baseball season, the beginning of baseball. I thought it was Thanksgiving, but baseball season. So hey,
and what is the opening? When is the indoor practice facility supposed to be finished?
In September. I don't know the day. Hopefully by the first game.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll be able to use it this fall. That's good.
Yep,
that's good. I like that we can't. Unless we get a lot of rain. I want us to practice outside in August as much as we can because the first two games at Alabama, 12 o'clock, and at 12 o'clock, or excuse me, in Greenville, 12 o'clock for App. So getting to practice in that heat is an advantage.
Alabama is first of September is going to be hotter than the Ouija out there.
What are we, 90? We're 96 days away from Pirate football, I believe.
96 days, guys.
96 days.
And Kyle,
94 days for the Queen Anne rise again, baby.
You gonna take Alan Vick?
Alan Vick is more than welcome to ride down with me.
Well, thank you. I'll be if that happens, I'll be sure to use my right guard and my left guard for you.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead. We're gonna do a show for the Queen's Anne's for that for the weekend. I'm gonna get with Dave. We're gonna do a show live for the Queen Anne.
736 for North Carolina Central weekend?
September 26th.
Is that homecoming?
No,
What game is homecoming? I know it's early in the year.
it's in October, but I can't remember the.
Rice. It would have to be Rice, and there's no other game it could be. Because it's not Temple Thanksgiving or Halloween weekend, so it would have to be Rice if it's not Central.
But hey, Dave, let's set up a show for Alabama opening game. We're gonna show up a show live for the Queen Anne. We're gonna do that.
All right.
Rice is homecoming. Why are tickets so high for Central weekend? Pays in particular. I'm curious to know. I would think the App State game would draw better than Central.
They're doing that. I think the point he's making is they're doing that. They know that people are coming to games, and
yeah, well, that's price gathering. Screw that. I would pay that.
Family weekend.
I would stay in Kinston or Wilson or
Washington.
Little Washington
Goldsboro.
or Williamston or Goldsboro or Rocky Mount or stay at the Super 8 in Greenville.
Hey, just come to Goldsboro, man. You're 40 minutes from campus. I'm 42 minutes from my house.
New Bern is also an option.
Well, that's what I'm having to do for.
Have y'all seen Pays lately? My man's lost a bunch of weight. He looks great.
Yeah,
all right, Pays. I'm gonna be right behind you. I'll start Zepbound this week, so I will be right behind you.
He looks good, man.
I've been on the shot for the last year, so I understand.
Hey, by the way,
lost 42 pounds.
What shot have you used, Justin?
I'm on the semaglutide. It's a
semaglutide.
Yeah.
And Pays has the prettiest little girl, and she's not little anymore, but she's a beautiful young lady. Looks just like her mama.
Yeah. Aren't you glad that she looks like Love you, Pays.
Love you, Pays.
Yeah.
He's
a cool dude.
Yes, he is. And the fact that I love about Pays is that what's great about our fan base is that he and I are very passionate about basketball, and we're praying one day. I know he is. We're praying one day that we can get back to the tournament. He and I are the same age, I think. And he lives, Josh lives 15 minutes from Dowdy. Yeah, lucky you. Not too bad.
Josh, you're gonna start. What you should start doing is, I don't know how big your yard is, but you should just start renting yard space and let people pitch tents.
There you go. Oh, that's right. Because you live so close. Yeah. I think, Josh, are you in Winterville? Not to give out. I don't have to give you I'm not going to give your address out. I think he's like Winterville.
I seriously, because Dave, you've been to my house a few times. I got a lot of land, and I got a lot right beside my house that's clear. And I've seriously thought about putting a tiny house there, painting it purple and gold, and wiring up plumbing and all, and renting it out during football season. I just don't know how lucrative it would be off season.
Well,
but I would think it'd be pretty lucrative.
If you keep the prices reasonable, where everybody's jacking up the prices, you'll have that thing rented out a lot.
Yeah, I know we would during football season, a pirate themed tiny house.
I'm just saying.
Well, Kyle, if you're gonna do that, I don't live like 10 minutes from you. I might do the same thing myself.
Yeah, you've got the land there. Yeah,
I got the land right beside it.
I'm right on 903, so it's a straight shot, right through Snow Hill to Greenville.
Well, here's the thing. I live right off 13, man. So
same difference.
You know what I'm saying? You go out my house, take a
13
right,
right through Snow Hill. Yeah.
So yeah,
he's on the winter.
I've lived like 5 minutes from like Greene County line. So
you're basically in Pikeville.
I would say Pikeville, more than Salson.
Okay.
I'm right there. I'm right. You know where the red shed is, right here on 13.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm right here. I'm right. That's pretty much.
I went out that little Arab gas station and vape shop by the red shed the other night.
So you know where the Dollar General is?
Yeah.
I'm right here. That's where I'm at.
Okay. You know the little gas station I'm talking about?
Oh, I know.
Yeah. I went in there because somebody told me they had cherry lemon sun drop there, and they had as much cherry lemon sun drop there as I did at my house. So
don't tell my buddy that. He's all about that cherry lime.
Cherry lemon sun drop is hard to find east of Greensboro, and
the buddy I grew up in college. He used to work at Hickory for the Hickory Car.
Say it again.
He's all about it.
Say it again,
I thought, Sun Drop being made in Rocky Mount, you could go to Rocky Mount.
I've heard. Look, a dude one time that I know through a friend lives in Nashville, and he gave me some cherry lemon sun drop. So you might be able to find it in there. You might be able to find it around Rocky Mount. I need to go up there and check.
Well, if somebody can tell me where you can find that at, please.
When I worked up at WSAY, we had a sun drop deal because the plant was right down the road. We had unlimited amount of sun drop.
Yeah,
so
every time I go to when I'm in the western part of the state, the food line in Statesville is my go-to. And if I'm out there, I will pick up about 4 or 5 12-packs of diet and 4 or 5 12-packs of regular cherry lemon sun drop, and it'll make it last me a few months. And
hey, if you need guys pick up that cherry sun drop, let me freaking know. I will pay you guys.
All right, somebody told me again. This is the same person that told me that gas station had it sometimes. Said that the Wilson Walmart has it regularly.
Oh, really?
So I don't know. I'm gonna cruise out to Wilson, maybe go up to Rocky Mountain and check and see if I can put my hands on any. And if I
Kyle,
do, Justin, I'll grab
that,
an extra 12-pack for you.
Yeah, if you do that, please let me know.
I will.
I heard it was bootlegging if you have it in Greenville, so I don't know if that's true.
Hey, no, it's like we're gonna be like Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah,
that's right.
Kyle's gonna be the new bandit, and he has to get a whole bunch of.
I'm gonna tell you what, for the folks who live out in Western North Carolina, cherry lemon sun drop, they know how good it is. And
yes,
so it's very good. I concur, my friend.
Yeah. But guys,
you ready?
I don't know how much more we got to say here, but I'm about ready to wrap up my end. I don't know about everybody else, but
yeah, everybody's tired. We JR, hope you feel better, bro. I know he's real tired. So but what we're gonna do is if we have any baseball news, we'll have a show. We're not gonna obviously have an on deck show anymore because we have no more baseball games. So unless we have a special guest or anything special, we're gonna be doing our usual Sunday
night only. Yep.
Sunday night only at 8:00. Yep. So just keep that in my programming note. Kyle, I want to say that thank you, my friend. Thank you to Wildfire. Thank you to Miss Stevie. I know he's probably got to get up early in the morning.
Stevie is sick. We need to mention that. Stevie is not.
Good,
Stevie has been not feeling good today, running a high temperature, having some stomach issues and stuff like that. So feel better, Stevie.
And how you doing, Kyle? By the way, before people,
pretty good. I go my follow up, my first follow up tomorrow afternoon, but pretty good. I had that rough patch right after surgery where I was on some antibiotics where I shouldn't have been on that was destroying my stomach, along with my I'm weird with anesthesia. Right after surgery, I'm fine, but then it will linger on me for days. It's like it's like the point I get like an hour after surgery is where I stay at for days.
Oh wow.
So it's like you think I'm doing good because an hour after surgery I'm up talking, walking, and then I stay in that kind of same headspace for about 4 or 5 days, and can't explain it, but it's just what I do. So between that and that antibiotic just wreaking havoc on my stomach, I'm getting there. I went out today. I walked. I live on an acre and a half. I walked four laps around the perimeter. So trying to get my strength back up. Start this shot this week. Lose some weight. My goal is 100 pounds in a year, and we'll see how that goes.
By the way, the Walmart website when they can deliver or pick up has cherry lemon sun drop.
No, they don't. It's a lie. It's a
lie.
Really?
It is a lie. Yeah, it's one of those things. They'll claim they have it, and they don't.
Doggone, man, because I'm looking at it right now.
No, unless you're talking about like ordering it from far away, your local Walmart does not have it.
Nope.
It'll say they do, but they don't. I promise.
Lying bastards.
I have ordered it from Amazon, and you'll pay a premium, but you can't order it on Amazon.
Yeah, you can.
I bought two 20-ounce 6-packs for like $15 each. I think the last time I looked, 12-packs were like $24.
Yeah.
So
Pace can get you a case. Just let him know. But
Pace, where are you at, man? You're
on, go.
You're
Pace.
out. Where the hell are you? You're out like Wendell. Are you in Wendell now? I think he's in Wendell now. If I remember right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So where do you find it? Are you finding it in Raleigh or Wendell? Where do you pick it up at, Pace?
The bottling company is in Rocky Mount.
Okay. Well,
The sun drop.
then Rocky Mountain may have it, but I don't understand why it's not distributed
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
any
saying.
any
Yeah.
further south or east. It
Well,
doesn't
it
make any
says
sense.
permanent. It says maybe not. It says permanently closed.
Well, there
So
you go.
Well,
maybe
that
it's not.
explains it.
Maybe
That
it doesn't.
explains it.
It's not there anymore.
there you
But
go.
if somebody can figure it out, please let me know.
He
I'm
can
in
get it.
Wendell. In Salisbury. Okay. All
He knows how to
right.
get it, yeah.
So he must go to Salisbury on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Well, if somebody can figure out how to pick some up, please let me know. I will.
He goes to-
Yeah.
There you go. Cheerwine's at Salisbury plant. Okay.
Yeah. Well, but Cheerwine that's not associated with Sundrop, is.
I thought they don't have
No, one's not. Cheerwine's an independent company.
independent company.
Sundrop is owned by Dr. Pepper.
That's right. That's right. They did. I did know that. Got to get. By the way, I want to say before we get out of here, I do need a prayer for this week, so you guys know why I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah. Good luck, Dave.
I know your
Yeah,
I know
good
your
luck, Dave.
prayer, and Dave, I know your prayer, and I'm right here with you, brother. You know the situation with me and you, and I'm right here with you, brother. I really am.
So if y'all can do that for me, it would be great. I don't normally ask. This is the first time I've asked for a prayer in.
Hey, look, Dave, I'm with you 100%. I'm same prayer with me as well. Me and you in the same boat, and look, we're gonna get through it, brother. We're
right.
pirates. We get through it.
Prayers to you, Dave, and good luck with your situation too, Justin. And Paige, if you can get me some, man, I appreciate it. Just let me know when you have it in your hands. Give me a couple 12 packs. When you have it in your hands, let me know, and we'll figure out how I'll get it from you. Because I promise you, if you get it, I'll get it from you.
Same thing with me, Pays.
You'll drive to Wendell. You'll drive to Wendell, right?
Yeah, I'll drive to Wendell. Shit, that's an hour.
Not that far. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll
Sir, why do you
put Kyle
have
in the
40
truck and we'll
cases
ride
of lemon
together.
sun drop in your trunk, sir? Can you explain?
You know
that?
what? I wonder if there is a market in this area. If I could get a bunch of cherry lemon sun drop and resell it around here at a profit.
I honestly think it would make a profit around here, Kyle.
Hey, what you could do is you can have your tiny house, and then you can sell the Cheerwine out of that.
Not Cheerwine, cherry sun drop.
I mean, cherry sundrop.
Cherry Sundrop.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
It would make a profit around here. I mean, really, it really would.
People are very funny about their soda for sure, and having more distribution of it.
Well, I mean, you look at what's happened with I don't know how much you guys keep up with social media trends, TikTok, etc. But the Kool-Aid pineapples have I mean, people are just making those like crazy and selling them for $15, $20 a jar for $10 pineapples. They just add a packet of Kool-Aid to something you can do at the house. So you can find all kinds of way to make money.
Speaking of which, I just looked at SeatGeek, and I am a hypocrite. Good luck to the Carolina Hurricanes. I'm very upset that I can't go.
Well, Dave, you said you were going to take me to a Stanley Cup final game, so I'm
on
you to it.
By the way, $1,100 a ticket for nose.
Well, you've already promised. Get to buying, man. Get to buying.
Come on, Dave.
Chump change for you, Richmond. Chump change.
Yeah,
all you, Dave.
I've got that in my couch cushions, man. What are you talking?
Take the SBOJ to the Canes game, baby.
I wish I would. I'm telling you guys, and Kyle, I promise.
Get media passes.
That's right. Media pass, Dave. Come on,
there you go,
man.
Dave.
Hey,
get
Kyle,
media passes, man.
Kyle,
Kyle,
we do have a friend, and I'll tell you off air. So I don't want to out that person because a whole bunch of people will be texting that person. We do have a friend that has offered in the past, and I'm not going to ask for Stanley Cup, obviously, because that person will be there. But for a regular game, we can get tickets that are like right near the
Oh yeah.
But I'll let y'all know in the group chat about that. But anyway, appreciate you guys very much. I enjoy doing the show. Johnny, I hope that I know he's really tired and got a lot on him work-wise. And Stevie, I miss you, brother. I hope you get better. And can't wait for Matt to be back with football. We'll have that very soon. 96 days of football?
Yeah,
96 days of
football, and we'll have covers throughout the summer. We'll really get locked in early August when fall camp starts. We'll have Matt back. We'll do some not just ECU previews, but preview some other teams in the conferences in the conference. And we always gear things up for football season.
No doubt.
Brought to you by Cherry Lemon
I just
Sun
want to say, guys, if I could, appreciate you guys for letting me be a part of the podcast this year. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to the football season and previewing the upcoming football season. Just thank you guys a lot for everything you guys do.
Well,
I
thank
really
you, man.
appreciate it,
You add a
guys.
lot to this podcast.
Yeah, and we can't wait to have. We need to take. We'll talk more about that, but we need to have videos of Queen Anne's Revenge. I know there are Pirate fans like maybe interested in seeing what it looks like on the inside. Or
Yeah, anything we can do to give you guys behind the scenes. I mean, just really fortunate to do what I get to do with the Queen's Hands and be behind the scenes, guys. I mean, that's a really cool experience that a lot of Pirate fans don't get experience, and I really appreciate that, guys. I really do.
No doubt. All right, guys, have a great one. We appreciate y'all so much. We'll be back on Sunday night at 8:00 for.
We'll see you guys then.
See you then. Go Pirates.
Go.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.